to Yak Talk. Today is our third parter in our three-part series on whether the new Star Trek series coming out in 2017 will take place in the universe or the Prime Universe with the information we have available in February of 2016. So please, I know 2 years from now someone's going to write a comment on here like, you were all wrong, or what are you guys talking about? This is February 2016, remember that. Now, the two things you really got to consider here is, I like to call the emotional factors and the money-making factors. And let's start by talking about the emotional factors. The only two people we know associated with the new Star Trek series are Alex Kurtzman and Heather Caden. Both of them with strong emotional ties, explained in the earlier episode, to the new universe. And that's going to be hard for them to break and hard to see past. I mean, these are friends. They've worked. Heather and Alex have both worked with these guys. Alex has worked heavily on the new movies. So it's going to be hard for them to emotionally distance themselves from that, to be objective. In addition, they're executive producers. Executive producers don't have a ton of say, but they do have a fair amount of say. I know it's kind of a wishy-washy answer, but it's kind of true. And CBS selected them. They selected these guys as executive producers, which points in the direction of the new universe. CBS is kind of emotionally going that way. At the same time, cannot forget about the antagonistic relationship between CBS and Paramount. Even if it would make CBS more money, they might not do because they don't like Paramount. And that's tough. That's also emotional. Emotions lead to irrational decisions. So you got points on both sides. I'm saying the CBS Paramount anger is probably stronger than they even realize. Let's see how Alex and Heather are doing in August. Let's move over to the money-making factor. This is important. This is a proprietary company. They need to make money. And Star Trek movies and television series linking up together could be a good way to make money. Both franchises would support each other and get viewership on both sides. It's a big deal. And historically, the movies and television series didn't really line up. I mean, TNG was 100 years in the future when the original movies were coming out. So it's a little bit hard to decide if that's going to be a factor. The problem is Star Wars got bought out by Disney, and Disney is planning to do big things with Star Wars, including multiple television series, multiple miniseries, and multiple movies. And maybe Star Trek via CBS and Paramount are feeling a lot of pressure from that because they've always used Star Wars as their main competitor, but you can't really go head-to-head with Disney. Disney can do crazy things that no one else can. In addition, I kind of look more at Warner Brothers with their projects with DC and the CW and their movies. And they have just announced that the new Flash movie is not taking place in the Arrowverse. Like, they're casting a different actor to play the Flash in the movies. The TV series and the movies are going to be completely separate. They're going to be just completely independent of each other. And someone at Warner Brothers did the math. They sat down and they said, are we going to make enough money by spending the time and energy and resources to coordinate this stuff to cancel out how much that's going to cost? And someone at Warner Brothers said, no, they're not going to make enough money. I don't have the actual memo that says that, but that's what that action tells you. Someone did that. And maybe someone at CBS is watching Warner Brothers and knows, you know what, if they say they can't do it, maybe we shouldn't also. Finish off with the distribution model. I spent a lot of time on the first post talking about this distribution model and what it means. Now, in the Prime universe, it actually in some ways really helps them out because they could make everything, they do it like the Netflix model where they've released the entire season in one go. You can all of a sudden just release the whole thing and say, you know what, you've got to figure out how to watch them in order. And fans would figure that out. It also works for them if they release it in one go with the movies. They don't have to do as much coordination. It's not like we have to time this episode to come out when the movie comes out. They can instead be like, we're going to release the entire season, and then we'll release the entire season, and anything that comes out after the movie, we'll just release it after that. We'll release that as a mini-series afterwards. And that's another thing also about the streaming model that could really help them. They could do a series of smaller mini-series with subplots that you don't have to develop. Once again, this kind of goes either direction. I still think it goes a little more towards the Prime universe because they have more control over the content and they don't have to care as much about what the movies are doing. With everything I've covered in the three parts, I've really come to the conclusion that I still think the Prime universe is winning out, that it's more likely to be the Prime universe just because of the coordination factor and the fact that CBS must be watching what Warner Brothers is doing, and Warner Brothers has said we're not doing that. And I think CBS is more like Warner Brothers and not like Disney, which is Star Wars and Marvel. At the same time, I don't think the Prime Universe is winning by the margin. When I first started this, I thought it was winning by. I really thought originally it was like Prime Universe, no way, it's going to be the new universe. Now I'm kind of like, there's a lot of evidence pointing towards it being the new universe. You just can't ignore the fact that Heather, Caden, and Alex Kruzman are involved. That just can't be ignored. And other things I gave a lot of thought to, maybe there's a good chance it could be the new universe. At the same time, we're working with very limited information. It's February 2016, and I kind of feel like I'm reading tea leaves here, trying to predict the future. Now, please listen to comments below. Any arguments you have or any direction. As new information comes out, you can pop it in there and say I was wrong or say I was right or what about this? Let's keep the conversation going. Thanks so much for watching, and keep living the life fantastic.